I said, could I have hit him? Did I hit him?
How could that have been? I mean, you dropped him off at the house.
I don't know what else could have been. I didn't think I hit him, but could I have clipped him? He didn't look mortally wounded as far as I could see. Could I have done something that knocked him out? And
this would have been the moment you dropped him off at the party, you're thinking?
Yeah, would have had to have been. I said I hit him.
In October 2024, Vanity Fair published an article about Karen Read. It was a puff piece, really, written by a journalist who cozied up and stayed with Karen in her Mansfield home for 3 full days. The article was rife with Karen's trademark self-victimization and elaborate conspiracy theories, tinged with disparaging remarks about the murder victim, John O'Keefe, and his family, and replete with sob stories about just how much Karen claims her defense has put her in financial debt. But what struck me most was this quote from Karen. "I told my parents if I did anything in any way, I'll pay my dues. That's how this should work. I want to know the truth. Good, bad, ugly. An absolutely absurd and self-serving lie." For over 2 years, Karen has denied, shifted blame, lied, colluded to cover up, exploited, and even profited from the murder that she, and she alone, is responsible for. She has been working overtime for years to prevent the public from knowing the truth, which is in fact quite ugly. Karen Read's relentless efforts to cover up the truth about what she did to John O'Keefe have unleashed a torrent of deception and manipulation. She has orchestrated a sprawling conspiracy involving witness harassment, jury pool tampering, and the exploitation of public sympathy to rake in hundreds of thousands of dollars, not just to bankroll her defense, but to prop up her lifestyle and reward those shameless enough to support her brazen attempts to obstruct justice. However, the trouble with relying on shameless and unscrupulous people lies in their very nature. Unleashing a rabid attack dog may wreak havoc on your enemies at first, but such creatures are unpredictable. Sooner or later, the very force you set loose to destroy others will inevitably turn on you, tearing apart everything you sought to protect. Karen Read has unleashed and aligned herself with these destructive forces, and it's only a matter of time before they turn on her and bring her down. This is the story of what lies hidden in Turtle Boy's phones, secrets and connections that could unravel everything, and how a simple dispute over a Facebook group nearly sent Karen's entire world into chaos. To understand this story, it's important to know the key players. Nick Rocco, a salon owner and former lottery winner from Wilmington, Massachusetts, along with his wife Jenna Rocco, a former nurse, have played a significant role in Karen Read's defense. The Roccos have spearheaded extensive fundraising efforts for Karen and serve as the owners and administrators of the largest Facebook group dedicated to supporting her. Also central to this story are Karen's parents, Bill and Janet, who have been deeply involved alongside her attorneys, her cousin Kelly, and her brother Nathan. Together, they form a network of supporters working tirelessly to defend Karen and uphold her narrative. And at the center of it all is Aiden Kearney, better known as Turtle Boy, who is currently facing a 19-count indictment in Norfolk Superior Court for witness intimidation and related offenses, a case that runs parallel to Karen's murder charges and plays a crucial role in shaping her future. Karen Read has, to this point, evaded any criminal responsibility for her role in the intimidation and harassment of witnesses against her. To understand why, we need to rewind way back to October 11th, 2023, when Turtle Boy was arrested at his ex-wife's home. And his electronic devices were seized pursuant to several search warrants.
What? You got a warrant. For what? You got multiple arrest warrants. For what? You have to talk to Norfolk about it. We'll just... Can I close the garage door? Yeah, you can in a minute. We'll take care of it in a minute. Yeah, you have 9 arrest warrants. You're going to talk to the Norfolk detectives, not us. We're just helping them out, then we'll leave. What? They know more about it than me, dude. I don't know anything about it. Am I going to Holden Barracks? Yep. So we're going to bring you to Holden for a quick booking, and then you're going to go to Stoughton District Court. Today, this morning. Yes. Can I please close the garage? Yeah, we'll take care. Just act like a gentleman. We'll treat you like a gentleman. So we have a couple search warrants, too. Search warrants?
The state police immediately secured a warrant and searched 2 of the 6 cell phones they recovered. After retaining attorney Timothy Bradel, Turtleboy demanded that all searches cease until a taint team, a panel of independent legal and law enforcement professionals, could be appointed to review the material for any attorney-client privileged content and redact it before the Commonwealth resumed its search. After making this request, Attorney Bradel began to repeatedly claim a variety of privileges that simply do not exist in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. These included claims of journalist privilege, spousal communications, and supposed confidential sources, among others, categories of content and communication that are afforded no legal protection in this state. It is notable that shortly after making these demands, Turtleboy absolutely knew that his phones had been searched and made public statements confirming his knowledge.
We did have one victory already. So we want them to immediately stop looking through my phone. Now, I don't know if that's going to do any good, if they've already looked through it all. There's a lot of shit on there. I had 23,000 photos and videos on there. The Clarence messages alone, it would take months to go through all of them. So they claim that only Tully has looked at them. Sure, right. But of course, we can trust the state police, sure. So my attorney emailed Mello and asked Mello to immediately stop, and we want a taint team to look through the phone.
He also told his audience that he had been informed, presumably by his attorney, that any contents and information uncovered during the search could not be used in court against him until after the taint team review had been completed.
What they want to do is they want to go through the phone and they want to find out who all of my sources are, especially the people who are sources on the story. But it doesn't matter if they have. They can't use anything in there right now. They can't use anything.
For the past 15 months, since the searches were first paused, Turtleboy and his attorneys have consistently employed delay tactics, attempting to block any further searches of his devices and suppress information already uncovered. This pattern reached its peak when they lied in open court, claiming not only that they were never informed about any searches conducted on his devices, but also accusing the prosecutors of lying by suggesting that no searches had occurred at all.
Stipulations of counsel where recently in this last group of filings from the Commonwealth, they stipulated and agreed that Mr. Carney's phones were searched, right, which was kept from us till that acknowledgement. So that's a whole other issue that I want to get into. But I would use that as part of it.
Doesn't seem like it was kept for you because at least Mr. Federer's letter references it. So you had information about it. Maybe it wasn't disclosed in the Rule 14 process, but it was known to you. But in the event, yes, it was known to us.
This is patently false. It is clear that Turtleboy and his attorneys were fully aware of the searches over a year ago. So, why are they so desperately trying to keep the contents of his devices concealed? I have an idea. And so do Nick and Jenna Rocco, Bill and Janet Reed, brother Nathan and cousin Kelly. The true irony in all of this is that while pointing the finger and accusing others of conspiracy and cover-up, they have been engaged in a real conspiracy and cover-up of their own. Every accusation is a confession for these people. Because this is a real conspiracy, comprised of real people, each with their own overarching motive and agenda, it is slowly unraveling because, as I said in my last video, people talk. In December 2023, Turtleboy's bail was revoked, and he spent 60 days in jail. This sent Karen into a panic. She viewed him as too much of a liability and immediately cut all contact. By the time Turtle Boy emerged from jail, he had been completely iced out of the inner circle of the Free Karen Reed movement. The Roccos now completely controlled the Facebook page. Nick Rocco had become a regular on nightly court TV segments covering the case. Karen Reed refused to speak to him, and he was excluded from the limited seating in the courtroom.
Rocco's removed him. My people aren't allowed in there because it's Nick Rocco's group, not mine. He's using my name and my brand to build up this thing and raise money. And who does he hide behind? Karen Reed, because he knows that's the thing that, like, oh, nobody wants to fuck with that. Nobody wants to, you can't fucking fuck with Karen Reed, right? And then Karen Reed comes on the page yesterday, and what did she post in the comments? She posted all the money that Nick, all the money that they've raised, all goes to me, right? That's the thing she posted on the Facebook group. It all goes to me. They're not stealing a dime. That's fine. I've never once accused them of stealing money. So she addressed a problem that I've never once made an accusation of. And why would she make a post like that? Like, why would she notice what she didn't address in there? The much larger issues, in my opinion. Like, how about saying something to the extent of, Turtle Boy's done a lot for me, right? Like this whole fucking platform, none of this would have happened, but they can't do that. Can't do that. Or how about, like, it's not cool to associate with Krusty Panties because Krusty Panties has been leading the movement that I'm guilty of murder. Like, so maybe it's not a good look that Jenna Rocco is out here chumming it up with Krusty Panties on social media. Or maybe Karen Reed could have said, maybe addressed, like, I don't think Aiden should go to jail, which is something that, Jenna Rocco said should happen to me. Like, that would have been nice. That would have been nice. But they obviously got her because they realized that, we'll just kind of hide behind Karen. Like, we'll get Karen in here. She'll make a fucking positive statement. And then we're gold because we're Karen. See what I'm saying? It's fucking part of the scam. And Karen likes them, obviously, because they're bringing in money, aren't they? It's like, that's the relationship. It's fucking gross. It's disgusting.
This enraged Turtle Boy. After unsuccessfully pestering both Karen's brother Nathan and her cousin Kelly, he shifted his focus to Nick and Jenna Rocco and the other moderators of their Facebook group. He began making veiled threats against Karen Reed and implicating her as a key player in much of the criminal activity for which he had been indicted just months earlier. As a result, Nick Rocco contacted Karen's attorney, Alan Jackson, to discuss Aiden's threats to go to the police and implicate Karen Reed. Nick's wife, Jenna, later recounted their conversation in a voice message sent to their Facebook admin chat group.
Well, first of all, he didn't really understand what was going on. He was just like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? And then when Nick really explained it, how, if he doesn't get what he wants going forward, so, I can't be an admin, you can't be an admin, and the only reason why Nick is still on is because he's the creator. Alan was like, well, so he has screenshots of Karen giving addresses, and Nick was like, yeah. And he's like, this is extortion, this is blackmail, and he's like, and who's gonna help us? The state, who are we gonna go to? He's like, the state police don't want to do anything, but my thing is, the state police will do anything to lock him up. So if they want to, they'll get him on extortion charges before they try to get Karen Reed on conspiracy of a screenshot of Signal apps. But I can't go around saying he has screenshots of Karen Reed. What I will say is he is claiming to have incriminating evidence. I won't say that. I would say he's threatening to actually go to Brian Tully is what I'll say. Because I don't want people to know that he actually has something, you know what I mean? So I will continue to say he's threatening to go to Brian Tully. But Karen has known this because while he wasn't doing that publicly, he has told Nick, I'm going to Brian Tully, and Nick told Karen, and every time she says, what am I going to do? She's like, I'm not going to back down anymore. I'm being charged for murder. I'm not scared of anybody or anything. Fucking let him. So we'll see what she wants to do now that he wants to post screenshots. Alan was like, just hold off on it until after court tomorrow. He's like, I don't know what he has to, because the thing is, if she gets a charge, she gets bail revoked. So it's really a sticky situation, but as long as people know. So then now if he's going to come out and say, oh yeah, Jenna's just mad because I said I was going to write a blog about her, I would say, fucking write the blog. I'm mad because you are threatening to go to Brian Tully. And if he's like, oh yeah, there's no proof of that, whatever, I'll send screenshots of him saying that because he has said it in text. And even if not, I'll be like, this isn't about a blog about me, fucking write it. Like, write the blog. Nick was telling him the whole phone call, fucking write the blog, dude.
I've heard people say that what is done in the dark will always come to light. I believe it to be true, because if my time on the internet has taught me anything, it's that secrets are impossible to keep in an environment where information is shared at the speed of light. Maybe some secrets won't travel quite as fast, but inevitably, they do travel. I doubt the irony here will be lost on most intelligent people. Karen Reed, along with her supporters, Nick and Jenna Rocco, her attorneys and her family, have spent nearly 3 years shouting from the rooftops that every investigator, witness, prosecutor, and judge involved in her case is part of a massive conspiracy to cover up a murder someone else committed. They've demonized these innocent people, causing them endless torment and strife. Yet, in all that time, the case against Karen Reed has never wavered, and the only hushed conspiratorial voice messages discussing the cover-up of any crime come not from those she accuses, but from her own supporters, discussing how best to cover up her crime.
Just be careful with what you say. Never admit that he has anything, because that's the whole point of this. Wanting to talk to you about Natalie for a while, because she is a problem. And I think she has the potential to be an even bigger problem. The things that she's releasing, the hair on the taillight, all that stuff, I think she needs to be shut up.
If Jenna Rocco is to be believed, everyone in Karen's circle, her most ardent supporters, her family, and her lawyers, knows that she is involved in the ongoing witness intimidation for which Turtle Boy is currently facing charges. And why would Jenna lie about this in what she believed was the privacy of a Facebook group chat with others she assumed were equally willing to sacrifice their integrity for Karen's interests? Or so she thought, anyway. The thing is, there are people within the Free Karen Reed movement who joined because they genuinely believe in justice and are fiercely opposed to cover-ups, collusion, and corruption. When confronted with those very things within their own ranks, some of these individuals bravely chose to risk harassment themselves to help expose the truth. Clearly, Turtle Boy's threats against Karen worked. He was allowed back in court with the family, back into photos and events, and resumed communication with Karen. But the damage has already been done. Turtle Boy is incapable of keeping his mouth shut or making tactical, intelligent decisions. As a narcissist who strikes like a wounded animal, he is desperate to maintain control, lashing out without foresight or consideration for how his attacks on others will inevitably come back to bite him. I'll delve deeper into this in my next video. Frankly, in the larger scheme of things, it doesn't much matter. While Turtle Boy's extortionist threats have pulled back the curtain on Karen Reed's continued criminal activity, whatever leverage he claims to have over her is already on his seized devices. His stall tactics are failing, and once the Taint team completes their review, those devices' contents can, and most likely will, be used to indict both him and Karen Reed again. And that, perhaps, is the ultimate irony.
Run.
If you like what we are doing and want to contribute financially to the channel, the best way is by buying us a coffee. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/massholemedia and chip in to buy us coffee. It really helps with the late nights we spend scripting, editing, and producing these videos. If not, you could always give us a like and share the content to help the algorithm notice us.